What shouldn't have been invented? In the beginning the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Classic. I came here for this quote. LOL. Dental insurance. Teeth should have been covered under medical insurance. Same here in socialistic Sweden, apparently the teeth are not a part of the body. Leaded gasoline. The guy who invented lead gasoline, Thomas Midgley Jr., also played a huge role in chlorofluorocarbons which caused damage to the ozone layer. He later contracted polio and then made a contraption of pulleys and strings to help him move. He got himself tangled up in the machine and ended up strangling to death. Don't forget the fact that he was fully aware of the dangers of leaded gasoline, both to the general public and to the workers at refineries. Also it was known that adding ethanol had the same benefit. But it was pushed down because it couldn't be patented. Not to burst your bubble, but if this were true, competitors would have only to use ethanol to avoid licensing fees. It wasn't a widely known thing, but when he was testing various chemicals that could reduce engine knock he found both tetraethyllead and ethanol reduced it, but went with the lead because money. Single-use plastic. I read a post somewhere on Reddit once how trying to produce less garbage in your household basically resolves nothing because the packaging industry was so much more polluting when it comes to plastics. The example used was for the automotive industry. The story went like, there is a microcontroller, it is being wrapped in plastic, cardboard and then shipped by truck to a customer. This customer unwraps the package, puts the microcontroller onto a board, wraps up the board in plastic/cardboard/ and ships this to his customer. This customer again unwraps it. And so on. In the end it showed how many times something is wrapped/shipped and rewrapped/shipped before it became a car mirror. I wish I could find that post, sad face. Social media. Seriously, I think a lot of the problems we face today stem from or have been made worse by social media. Mental health of the masses have gone down the toilet, conspiracy theories running amok and taking over politics, narcissism is through the roof, more people being radicalized, misinformation being shared, repeated and believed. Things have been a fucking mess since most everyone has started using it. For many people, life has become an entirely performative act, and they've no idea inside of who they really are. The effect it's had on mental health is terrible. Keurig coffee pods. Totally agree. I ended up finding these pods from San Francisco Coffee Company I think that are fully compostable. Including the packaging they come in. I absolutely cannot go back to those terrible plastic cups. Especially since there are many ways to make better tasting coffee nearly as easily. Mocha pot, drip machine, French press, AeroPress. Better tasting and more satisfying? Yes. But let's not pretend there is any method of making coffee that is as easy as lifting a lever, putting a cup in, and pressing a button that makes fresh coffee come out within 30 seconds. Any other method of making coffee takes at least a few minutes, with at least a couple extra steps. Closest you'll get in terms of speed and convenience is going through a drive-through coffee place. Landmines. Landmines can continue to be impactful even after a war is over because they often remain hidden and active for years or even decades, causing harm to innocent civilians. I see a lot of people saying social media and that was my first thought as well, but I don't actually. Social media is the issue. When you could only see what your friends posted it was a fine place. I think it got bad when the suggested posts started popping up. K2 it's poison. I had to save my sister's ex's life from that back in 2015. He was staying over and they were smoking it in the room next to me. I was nearly asleep when I heard her panicking and saying things in a frightened tone in the room next to me. I go over there and see him on the floor not breathing. She was trying mouth to mouth and kinda doing chest compressions and kept checking for a pulse on his neck. I came in and she was crying and said something about how he had a seizure and ended up like that and now she can't feel a heartbeat. It just so happened that earlier that week I had happened upon a YouTube video about the new way to do CPR, rapid chest compression. I pushed her off him and pumped his chest hard about 4 times a second for just 3 seconds or so, and it shocked him back awake. I doubt I had great technique and I probably hurt his ribs and was doing it too fast and hard. But it worked. I then just went back to bed without saying a word because it was hella late and I was tired. None of us have ever talked about it. Yes, I have often thought about the fact that this man's life was fully dependent on the fact that I just so happened to have an out-of-left-field YouTube recommendation of a medical procedure and I randomly decided to watch it.